Hello, everyone. As you're aware, we have just completed a big feature in the RFI app, which is pertaining to the deposit from vendor and also corresponding deposit from the customer. So in this system, basically what happens is that we require, if at times we require deposit request from the vendor, then there needs to be a process from where we can track these deposits as well as request customers for the deposits as well. So the process starts basically after the vendor has checked out estimating and has submitted a request to provide a deposit to our account executives. So we will show this process instead of writing it in an email. I thought a video process would be easier to show, whereby we will show all the basic steps of this new feature, defining and describing the steps that are required. But of course, we will try to do it in a simple way since it's still a pretty large module and there are lots of exceptions that needs to be considered during the process, and we have handled those exceptions. But for simplicity purposes, to guide you through this process, we will just try to keep it as simple as possible and provide a step-by-step guide on the generic situation that most of the time we will face. So we will start this demonstration when the vendor has checked out estimating and has uploaded an estimate and has called for a deposit request. So in this on our demo server, basically test servers, we have created this job where the vendor has uploaded an estimate. So we will open the estimate and we will see that there is an estimate of $3,680 for plumbing. And once we know that it requires a deposit, we will create the customer estimate and our familiar screen of creating the customer estimate with the default markups. Of course, it's on the test server, so it will not match with the markups of the live server, and it does have a check of we need to have a markup at least above 20%. That is, the vendor bill needs to be 80% of the customer estimate. So we will increase some of the things here. So, like for example, we will just have that. Sorry, increase a bit of the rates here in terms of percentage. So that should cover it. And 3680 of 6636 of customer estimate. And we will click save and directly go to customer send mail, where it will send the email of the estimate to the customer. We can simply save it, but both options allow us on the next step to have the feature of the deposit noted. So we will just use this one, and it will show a pop-up that is this vendor requiring an upfront deposit. So this will be a new pop-up for every job whenever you're creating a custom estimate from a vendor estimate. So in this case, we will create yes and enter the amount that is required for the deposit. Let's say a deposit of $2,000 is requested. $1,500 is requested by the vendors. And on a corresponding question, it will be asked by the system that will we be requiring a deposit from our customer? Usually it's a yes, but we still have an option to know that in case that the vendor requires a deposit, but we cannot ask for a deposit from a customer. So that option is handled in our system. For this demonstration, we will click on yes, and we will need to enter the customer deposit amount that we will be requesting. So let's say $2,000 it will be requested for the customer. Even in this step, if by mistake you have clicked yes, you will have an option to opt out by clicking the orange button. Customer deposit is not needed. But in this example, we'll just continue and say that save customer deposit. So it will take us to the familiar send option of the customer estimate, and select which customer email that it's sent to, and we'll simply click send. So email has been successfully sent to the customer. And in this video, we will close it in this step. This step is done. Basically, the mail has been sent to the customer. From the next video, we will show you what happens when the customer receives the email. Of course, that's not part of what we will be doing from RFI, but to give a complete overview of the flow, we need to know what happens when the customer actually receives the email and the corresponding steps. Thank you very much. We will continue on the next video.